As a parent, you plan for your child's future, graduation, marriage, children. You never plan for them to be an addict.
I think that people do or did see the substance use, and that's all they saw was a drug addict. It's a shame because she tried.
We found out my son was using when he was probably 24 or 25. After we found that out, then you start to worry.
At adolescence is when she first started developing mental disorders. They started to surface probably around age 11, 12. So we started noticing she would want to smoke cigarettes, some of the typical things that kids start wanting to do, but it would just seem like more intense. And then marijuana. She would do self-harm. So cutting her arms, making burn holes on her skin. That was when we first started getting mental health services for her pretty young. She started with services. After a while, she just didn't want to go to therapy anymore. So we gave it a pause. But then the substance abuse started to escalate. So we went from marijuana, alcohol in there, and then getting pills from I don't even know where. People's medicine cabinets, people giving them to her, who knows. And so once she started that, then that's when the addiction steps in.
He was at culture camp when he got the injury, and he cut his leg from his knee to his thigh, and they sent him home. He was, I think, in 11th grade or 10th grade with 90 Oxycontin. Not knowing then, that was 2005, 6. He went back to school the next day on crutches and all those pills. And then I think he had another injury after that, and the same thing, 90 Oxycontin.
I am a Healthy Start nurse, and I work with pregnant moms and babies. The first thing I always say is, you're not alone. You're not alone in this. And if you want resources, or if you want me to help you continue on the road, if they're having a hard time with it, then we can make more home visits, or I can take you to the doctor's office and things like that. It's very important to talk about the mental health issues, and we usually pick up on that in the intake form also, because one part of the intake form is the physical condition of the person we're doing right now. So we take a blood pressure and we take a temperature, and then we get to, do you take any medications? And usually when they give up their medications and listing them, then you will realize that there is maybe either some mental health issues, depression, or whatever that the client is going through.
They'd say, well, why can't they just quit? Well, you can't. He's addicted to it, and it takes a lot to help someone. They either will just stop and that's it for them, or they need help all along the way.
She tried, but people are quick to judge. They see what they see, and they don't know the whole story. Unless you know the whole story, you shouldn't judge anything.
There is a stigma, and I know a lot of people feel it. I think this community acknowledged, that through the generational trauma that every Native has, and not a family hasn't been touched by it, that we have the hope that is instilled in us that we can live through it because we've gotten this far already. If we supply the resources and help the people as much as we can, that we will continue on this path of a good life.
Well, I can tell you that Ayana herself found a lot of comfort in cultural practices. When she was younger, she went to Boys and Girls Club, and they had the Pride Drum, and her and her dad did that together, and she really loved it. And so she kind of always fell back on those cultural practices. They made her feel good.
He did a speech at a conference we were at, and one of the elders from an Alaskan tribe come up and gave him an eagle feather. And I think that meant a lot to him, because he said, this eagle feather is all beat up like you. If you take care of it, you will get better too. So he got home, he found a box for it. I mean, I just really think that meant a lot to him. He always refers to the water when he's talking about getting better, so that's a part of us.
Well, the family is the central core of all the community itself. And so we have this within the community or within the family of what we need to do, either to support somebody, to help somebody.
Being that person for somebody to help maneuver all of these systems that are seemingly tied together, treatment, law enforcement, mental health services, and just being that person, the strength that person doesn't have themselves. They need it from you.
Reach out to your cultural leaders. It's hard when you're trying to take care of other people and yourself too, and thank God for a big family. My son is doing so good now. Him and his girlfriend have a nice place now, and he's got a job. Just very, very good. It's good to see. It's actually comforting.
Well, the more we, have families get into or have knowledge of resources or whatever that we can provide for them, I think the community is making at least a step forward. I think the community is evolving.
I think if someone was dealing with this and I could sit and talk with them face to face, I would say you have to reach out. Don't think you can do it on your own, because you can't, and your child can't.
If you have that understanding and do put yourself in the other person's shoes, then you have the empathy that you need to get through it.
I always look to tomorrow, because you can't change what is going on. You just have to wait and hope they will change.
They're not alone in this community, that there are other people that are in the same boat maybe. It's fine, it's okay. There is help